Thank you for joining us in my catalog. And today, yes, we got the one and only Dax, the people's facts. And today he's going to be featuring Tom MacDonald. This is the official music video of Soldier, baby. Let's go. Damn, that town is burning.
I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when the times get hard. Yeah, I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. When my back's against the wall, I'm breaking, I won't fall. I'm a soldier. I know how it feels to be caught in the rain, going to war in your brain when depression is staring you right in the face and anxiety's grabbing you, making you shake. But there's people depending on you to be great, so you hide all the feelings and push them away. It's too hard trying to mix it all with the pain. I'm drinking the cool off and it's all in my veins. I'm making these new songs to move on and restrain from grabbing the sword off and going to cock it and aim at these nuanced influence to people who shame the role that a man has to play as a husband, a father, a brother, a son to a servant, protecting his family's name. They laugh in your face when you try to explain or express, then tell you they love you without any loyalty, patience, or basic respect. Then expect you to smile every day while I'm teaching your mind and your soul get flesh and you work and you wither away to the day that you can't and you're broken and nothing is left in your road and you can't even. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call.
Oh my goodness, I love this. The song is incredible. Incredible. His verse is phenomenal. I love this hook. And I love the sounds of the music video going with the instrumental and the song as well. That's really, really tough.
I like the concept that he's talking about. He's a soldier and that people depend on him, right? So even though he wants to break down and things are hard for him, he's got to be strong, right? He's like, I gotta put all that to the side when it's battle time, right? When it's battle time and people are depending on me, I need to be focused, because when you're a soldier, you're looking out for your brethren, right?
You got to protect.
You're looking out for the people to your left and your right, right? So you gotta be sharp, right? And you gotta be like determined. You can't be thinking about all the stuff that might be in your head, right? Like he's talked about, like, I gotta push all that stuff, that warfare that's happening in my head, put it aside real quick, and then when I go to battle, I need to be sharp so I can take out the enemy, right? Because before the enemy takes me out or takes out somebody I'm supposed to be protecting. So it's like that. I love that concept of it, because like that's literally what a soldier's whole job is. Right? When you're a soldier, you're supposed to be out there. You're protecting not the freedoms of your countrymen, right? But also the people that you're in battle with at that moment. You gotta be watching everybody's like six and watching their back and making sure that everybody's good, because it's not just you out there. You could be saving a lot of people's lives that could be going home to their kids and their families. So 100%. I love that, man.
Especially for like freedom fighters, like when you fighting for your country in your country and you fight in occupier, there's a lot of heart in there, and like you need to protect everyone around you. But even for the occupier, the oppressor coming in and basically having a war with you, they still, regardless if they agree with their government of sending them there, you are there with your brothers. So you still, regardless, have to protect your brothers, even if you are wrong in the war. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so even though you're wrong or right, like you still got to protect these soldiers with you. You know what I mean? And that's a fact, 100%.
And the flow, man, the flow in this right now, Dax is killing this flow. Like that
the hook
beat,
too,
when he
like,
started speeding up a little bit, he was going like almost with the rapid fire of the gun. Like he started 100%. Shooting, like it was like the background with the shooting and with him rapping. I was like, man, he's killing this.
100%. You know, it's so sad that like real soldiers, and salute to the troops as well. It's just sad that we put our young men and women into wars, and they sacrificing their life, but like the reason we send them there is wrong. You know what I mean? I can understand the soldiers' pain. I can understand the civilians' pain on both sides of the soldiers on any conflict. But like, I don't understand why we put them in that position.
Smile every day while I'm teaching your mind and your soul get flesh and you work and you wither away till the day that you can't, and you're broken and nothing is left in your world, and you can't even. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call when my back's against the wall. Breaking now will fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. My pronouns are he, him, his. My job is to feed these kids. Be strong, keep feelings within. My papa taught me to protect the weak. A man ain't what he got, a man is what he gives. And when he gives it all, then it still ain't enough, then he's the one to blame and no one gives a shit. Never leave a man behind. We all crack and break within the hands of time. I gotta axe to grind. With anybody trying to identify as a guy, if their chromosomes ain't XY, you would never understand what it's like for a man. Gotta fight with your hands, wanna cry, but you can. If it's right for the fam, you will tighten your pants. Provide a romance, you would die where you stand. Gotta be a bigger man when there's problems. Get judged by the money in your wallet. It's our fault, let's be honest. We built a world that labeled us toxic. Gotta lead and teach and keep the peace and fight the fires and be police. When a man gets tired, he don't lay down to sleep. He take all the heat, don't complain, no retreat. Cold world and it's hard times, and our children inherit the land. If you think that being a boy is just picking a pronoun, you should try being a dad. You can build all the houses and fix all the cars and work till you're breaking your back. But the hardest job in the world, being a man. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier.
Yo, he did nice, yo. Tom went in, yo. Tom was killing it, yo. The hardest job is to be a man, being a dad. You know what I mean? It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important to be there for your children, because children, not that they only need a dad, but they need a mom and a dad. They need both sides. You know what I mean? To be able to get the full effect.
Yeah. I think he's mad at Dax that he wasn't on that "To Be a Man" song, right? Because I feel like this was his verse for that song. He was just like,
the hardest part was me not being in that song.
Yeah, he's like, you didn't put me in that song, man. Look at this verse right here. I know what it is to be a man, right? And then he even talked about XY chromosome, right? And then talked about how people identify yourself now, like just trying to say that you're a man when you're not.
Yeah.
Right?
Tighten up your pants
you
and, like, you know what I mean, knuckle up, like handle business. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It was tough, man. And the whole, like, yeah, you gotta like try, if you want to be a man so bad, try being like a dad, right?
Yeah.
Like go out there and actually like father somebody and actually like take the responsibilities of being a dad, because that's when it really gets real, right? When it's not, when you're not just supporting yourself anymore and you got to support somebody else and you're teaching somebody else. Well, when you're a dad, it's like that's one of the hardest jobs, right? It's like you're not fighting for yourself no more. It's like you're supplying and you're doing something for another human, which is like one of the biggest reasons why we're put here on this earth, right? Is to help the next generation. You're always trying to like teach and leave behind. When you're doing that as a dad, it's like the biggest, because like look at like how people grow up. It's like the biggest influence you have is your parents, right? Because you're with them all the time. You grew up with them. They get to see all the different phases of your life. So it's like, what better people to like help guide you than the people that are with you most of your journey, right? Yeah. If you're lucky enough, and you know, obviously, let's hope that they don't pass away too early. But most of the time, you get to be able to live. If you're lucky enough, you get both parents in the household, and you get to learn both sides of the softness and the hardness of being with a man and being with a mother, right? The mother's tenderness and the softness that they teach you, and the man teaching you all the hardships of life and helping you get through like real difficult times, because that's what men have to do all the time.
Yeah. So. And shout out to all the single mothers. Shout out to the single fathers. You guys are doing a two-person job, you know? Yeah. So shout out to y'all. Don't get us wrong, okay?
No,
all
absolutely.
Parents, just be there for your children. You know what I mean? That's what's important, you know? And I love what he's talking about, because a lot of people have like so many other issues that they waste their energy on. And like the fact is, we need to raise our children right for this world to become better, because our children is the future. You know what I mean? So if we can teach them right, then possibly our future could be right, you know? But if we ignore our children and get into other conflicts for no reason and just ignore our children are going to be raised by the system. Yeah. And you know the system. It's crazy. Now, but I love Tom's verse. I love I love Dak's verse, and that hook is so fire. Every time that hook comes back in, I'm a soldier. What? For my dogs? Let's go. They both killing this shit. I didn't expect nothing less because I heard them I heard them in the black and white together as well. You know, that was the first time I was introduced to Dax, and I thought they murdered that as well. So these two know how to lay it down.
Yeah.
World and it's hard times and our children inherit the land. If you think that being a boy is just picking a pronoun, you should try being a dad. You can build all the houses and fix all the cars and work till you're breaking your back. But the hardest job in the world, being a man.
I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call. When my back's against the wall, I'm breaking now I fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I give you my all. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. Battling feelings I can't even show. Weight of the world on my shoulders is crushing me. People around me, they don't even know. I put on this cape and go save everybody while I'm being shattered and all of my bones. Take on the pressure of being the hero who saves but has no one to help with his own. Demons inside that try to eat him alive. I'm going insane and when I'm out of my mind, I look at the stars and talk to God in the sky. I wait on his words but I don't get a reply. I try to refrain from diving deep so I hold back tears that try to come out my eyes. In this world as a man where we know we can't cry, cause the people we love look at us to confide. So I'm silently screaming for help. Life is a battle inside of these trenches, especially when fighting it all by yourself. PTSD from the memories, people who left you for dead and then drug you through hell, leaving you shot deep inside of a shell with stories you hate but nobody to tell. Why you question God if you're soldier? I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call. When my back's against the wall, I'm breaking now I fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I give you my all. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier.
Absolutely. Shout out to those veterans, man.
Yeah, man. Whew. Yo, that second verse was tough too. Did you notice like the newscaster was like the war is over and then it went straight to the bottle, you know, and then Dax verse on like PTSD and everything else.
Yeah, now that he's back home, right? He's watching and he literally talks about how he was the hero, right? Like I'm the hero that nobody gets to see, like nobody's gonna talk about me or anything like that, right? Because the war is over, but they don't talk about the soldiers, right? They're not talking about like who actually ended the war, right? So now he's in the back and then he's getting all these PTSD and he's left with all the baggage that came from the war, right? Now the war is over, but technically it's not over to him because now he's got the mental warfare happening.
He's gonna have to live with that.
Yeah,
what has been done there,
right? The bodies that he was talking about, he had to carry, right? Like that didn't just go away just because the war technically is over, right? It's not over, and I love that he actually had a good woman with him, right? Like you could see his lady was watching him, like looking at the news, and like you could tell she's like, dang, like he's going through it right now, and she like the only thing she could do was like, let me hold him, let him know it's okay, right? Like I understand what you're going through. But like you can't say nothing to that, right? Like, what are you gonna say to somebody? But all you can do is show them love.
Man, it's just afterwards, you know, like when you look at the war from the outside, it's like it's shameful that we put our young men and women into these wars, man. It's like really shameful. I hate war. I hate war so much, like I don't even know how to explain it. But this is also like a war because it's a battle every day out here in society. And your everyday living, like the actual song is really about that, you know, like what you're dealing with on a daily basis. I mean, it's nowhere close to like being compared to a real soldier from a real war, but it's still a battle, you know. It might be mentally more than physically, but the physical battles become mental at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
But this is a tough song, man. Great verses, great hook, lyrics on point. Man, I love that hook. I'm a soldier. What? Yo, that's a tough hook. That's a tough hook.
I love that he literally says like I'm who they call on, right?
Mhm.
So I'm who they call, and like that part of that hook is like that's dope. Like when you're looking for a soldier, like they call me, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm at that forefront, right? I'm who they're talking about when they're talking about a soldier. When you need somebody to come and help you and protect you, like they
I'll
call on
be there.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope, man. Yeah, and they tackled a lot of like lot of real life stuff that's happening right now, right? With the
Mhm.
pronouns and
The
talking about
distractions. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
100%.
it's crazy. So no, shout out
Yeah.
to Dax and Todd, Tom McDonald, man. Tom McDonald and Dax, like, yeah, they did a good job with this together. I feel like their energy together was like meant to like for this kind of soldier kind of song. Like this fit them perfectly.
Yeah. And I really like what I appreciate about Dax and Tom is like they're always like they got something to say, you know? And what they saying is like something that needs to be heard as well. They fighting for a cause, for a human cause. And you know, they stand by what they saying and they stand by what they believe. So I appreciate that and I respect that for certain.
Yeah.
They both killed it.
Yeah.
And war is still bad. Shout out to the veterans. Shout out to the soldiers still in conflicts around the world. Honestly, our military, any military. I wish we could use our militaries for like feeding the poor. I wish we would go to another country instead of like having a war with them. Like maybe help them with the infrastructure, with the schools, churches, mosques, and everything else. I wish we could do that. I wish we could raise children that when they go to a war, it's actually helping another community or country. That
Yeah.
would be so nice.
More like aiding, right? Like aiding the
Yeah,
other country, right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Going
agree.
out there, saving people, saving lives, and uplifting lives, and not having conflicts and actual war battles. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Because
getting
that's like
old, man. How many years we gonna continue these battles? I mean, we've been fighting since Roman times and before, y'all. When we gonna stop? You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just we
Yeah.
humans, man. Relax.
The saddest part too is like a lot of times when we're doing these wars and going to these battles and wars is we're leaving these places worse off than they were, right? It's not like we're coming in there and bettering things. Like what you're talking
Uh,
about is aiding, right? You want to go into a place. If we're gonna go somewhere, why not
yeah.
go there and like benefit them, like help them, aid them, right? Help them
Yes.
with their community, right? Get them back on their feet. Like that's what we should do as humans is help people get back on their feet, especially if
Be a
they're
soldier.
if they need it, right? If
Hmm.
they're down, like if they don't need it, then leave those countries. If they're self-sustaining and they're doing good, then we should leave them alone. But we should go to places that actually do need the aid, right? That are crying out for help. There's a lot of
Hmm.
places in the world that they're crying for help, whether it's food, shelter, right? Helping out with everyday things is like that we take a granted
Communities.
for. Yeah,
Yeah.
so aiding is definitely huge. Like we definitely should be doing more of that versus going in there and making it even worse off at the end of the war. And then it just becomes like a war zone. You look at these places after we've gone there, and it's even way worse than when before. It's like what was the
Way
point of us
worse.
going there if everything just gets destroyed? Look at the cities and stuff that they're fighting in right now. People got to go
Mhm.
back and live in these cities, right? And now they're
Yeah.
just destroyed. All these things are destroyed. Everything's blown up and taken down. Like these were people's houses and businesses and things like that. Like now, how
Yeah.
these people are gonna come back and like be able to sustain, right? We should be going back and helping these people and building more and adding versus destroying.
Yeah. I mean, we could start an army called Aid, and we could start in our own country sending men and women to these different areas and uplifting communities and building new buildings and anything they need, basically. Aid our country first, see how well that works, and then apply it to every country we want to, get our foot in. You know what I mean? Just go in there and go like, yo, listen, man, we out here, an army of aid, and we here to aid you. So where are your bad areas? Because we're gonna clean it up. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like real humans that have a soul would respect that. I feel like God would respect that. I feel like Mother Nature would respect that. Because you're building instead of deteriorating and destroying.
Yeah.
For
As long as we don't go in there and try to colonize, right? As long as we ain't going in there and try to
Listen, we're gonna build these steel buildings, but you can't walk anywhere near this, you know.
I can see that turning bad too, because if we start aiding these places and then if we push our beliefs onto them, then that's different. If we just go there and just help them, what you're talking about, just hey, what are your guys'
infrastructure?
What are your needs
health
that you need? Yeah. Let's focus on that. Don't go in there and just be like, hey, this is what works in America, so we're gonna do that here, right? You need this, you need that, you need that, because then those places are gonna hate us, right? Because that's kind of what we do already. We're like, hey, this is what works in America, so you need to do this here. That's what's gonna work for you guys. But it's not the case. They don't need that. They need the essentials and the needs, like
they have
live.
their own tradition, their own culture. Like
exactly.
Let them live. Guys, we give you our thoughts. You give us your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about my catalog. Until next time.
Peace.
Yeah, I don't think the world is ready for that army of aid.
Nah,
they're gonna hate me for it.
Yeah, they're like, look at America over here trying to take over everything.
Well, I think like if you go to places and give them actual aid, I think they would appreciate that. But I mean, we not ready for that. Like, we not gonna do that. Like when we send soldiers out there, we send them to. It would be so nice if one day we just have an army of aid going around the world and just aiding the humans. Let's go.